Tobacco. Let's talk about tobacco. It's been demonized. You hear about how horrible it is to smoke, how terrible it is, how it's going to kill you, how it's going to make you impotent, it's going to turn you into a communist or whatever else. It's actually quite enjoyable. And if you're not a hardcore addict, it's pretty fun, I guess. I don't know, maybe if you're an addict it's fun too, but I can't tell you. I'm not addicted. I only do it because I like it. Anyhow, it's very easy to grow in Florida. Most people don't grow it. They think it's illegal. They think it's too much of a pain to cure. Who knows? Anyhow, I'm going to show you a little bit about growing tobacco and encourage you to go ahead and grow it, because if things crash and you're the guy growing tobacco or the gal growing tobacco, you're going to be much better off than the person that isn't growing tobacco or just has a nice lawn and doesn't grow anything. Anything beats that. But tobacco is a beautiful thing. You can grow your own cigars and you can live like a fat capitalist when everything else goes down. And it's delicious, but you might have to find a Cuban that can teach you how to roll these things. I'm still not very good at it. This here is a tobacco, not a tobacco seed, but a tobacco seed pod. Inside of this seed pod, there are hundreds or thousands of itty-bitty little teeny seeds, and each one of the plants produces a whole bunch of these pods. You can probably plant an entire acre on maybe a couple of teaspoons of these. It's incredible how many seeds are in there. And what you do is you take these little seeds and you dust them across the surface of some potting soil in a container, and you keep them misted. They need light to germinate, so you have to make sure that you don't bury them. You're just going to mist them in, water them in, and they'll start coming up in about 2 weeks, maybe a little bit less. And over the course of about 3 weeks, you'll end up with a huge amount of tiny itty-bitty little pinprick plants. And then you're going to let those grow a little bit and trim and cut into them and thin them out, and then select the very best ones and plant them out into something larger after probably a couple of weeks of growth. I'm going to show you how to take these little seedlings that you've started and grow them up to a size that's a little better to plant out in your garden. Tobacco starts really tiny, so you've got to get it when it's small. You get it started, and then you're going to have to take it and transplant it into something else until it gets big enough to put outside. You've got to get it probably at least 4 or 5 inches before it can handle being outside, out in the sun and the elements and everything else. So you find a half shady spot, you start yourself a bunch of little seeds in egg carton tops, as I did it, or whatever containers you can find, and then you're going to plant it into something like this. This is just a box made out of salvaged 2x4s. Perfect. Now water these in really gently, and in a couple of weeks they'll be big enough to plant somewhere else. Here we have some plants that I put out about a week and a half ago. They're looking good. Obviously the roots are taking. Tobacco are very tolerant of transplanting. Now here are some tobacco that I just put in a day or two ago. They look all wilted out, but they will recover, like these here. These were put in about 3 weeks ago. You can expect your tobacco to get up to 4 or 5 feet tall with nice beautiful leaves. This is a Havana variety, which is basically a cigar filler tobacco, and we'll have more than we need.